Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here again to really get into some fascinating source material and see what we can uncover.
That's right.
And today, we're diving into something quite personal. It's drawn from excerpts from Talking Chronicles, a daughter's wedding choice. Our goal here is to pull out not just the story itself, but, the deeper stuff about family, about old hurts, and maybe the quiet choices people make just to find some peace.
Yeah, those really tough choices.
This isn't just a story, really. It feels more like a real-life look at love, marriage, divorce.
All the big ones.
Exactly. And those incredibly messy emotions that bubble up when, the past just slams into the present.
Definitely.
I think this one's going to get you thinking, for sure. It's bound to spark some conversation.
I'd imagine so.
Okay, so let's set the scene. The source starts us off with a couple. They divorce after 10 years.
Okay.
And they have 2 daughters, young ones, aged 9 and 7 at the time. Seems common enough, maybe.
Right, it starts off sounding familiar. But here's where things take a pretty sharp turn right away.
Okay.
The mother moves, takes the girls to the U.S., and then, in what the source describes as a really absolute move, she just completely cuts off all contact with her dad.
Wow, completely.
Completely. For 18 years. As far as the mother knew, this man was just absent, not in their lives at all.
18 years, that's a long time. The kids are caught right in the middle there.
Totally. A real loyalty bind. Basically forced to live as if, that choice was made for them.
Okay, so fast forward nearly 2 decades. Those little girls, obviously grown women now.
Right.
And here's where, like you said, it gets really interesting. Almost reads like a movie script moment. The eldest daughter, she's getting married, big day coming up, and she tells her mother something. Well, it's described as a bombshell.
Okay, I'm braced.
She says, "I want my father to give me away."
Oof. After 18 years of supposed silence.
Exactly. Yeah. And the source actually gives us the mother's reaction, almost word for word.
What did she say? It wasn't just like anger, it was pure dismissal. Scoffed, apparently. Said something like, "That loser, who even knows where he is?"
Wow. Just dismissive. You can just picture the tension after that.
Right. Imagine the silence.
So what did the daughter do? Does she react? The source must mention that.
It does. And remarkably, she was calm. Almost chillingly calm, the way it's described.
Really?
Yeah, she just replied, "Actually, he's in town."
Boom. There it is.
Exactly.
And that's the moment the big secret comes out.
That's it. Turns out the daughters hadn't lost touch at all. They've been secretly talking to their dad for the last 15 years.
15 years behind the mother's back.
He wasn't absent. He'd been this sort of quiet, steady presence in their lives again.
Right.
Knew about her fiance, knew about the proposal.
He even helped pick the wedding date.
Yeah, helped pick a date that worked for him to be there. It really shows something powerful, doesn't it? About kids at divorce. That resilience. How they sometimes create these parallel lives to keep connected to both parents, even when one tries to stop it.
Yeah, you can almost feel the mother's reaction coming off the page in the source material. Just devastation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Betrayed, angry, abandoned. Like the divorce was happening all over again for her.
And she didn't just feel it, she acted on it.
She did. The source is clear. She gave an ultimatum. Said she wouldn't come to the wedding. Not if her ex-husband walked their daughter down the aisle.
That's intense, using the wedding like that.
It really highlights how that old unresolved grief and anger can just, explode into trying to control things desperately.
But the daughter, she didn't back down.
Not at all. Stood incredibly firm. And her response, it's really poignant. Must have just echoed.
What did she say?
She told her, "Mom, this isn't your wedding. It's mine. That man may no longer be your husband, but he will always be my father."
Wow. Powerful. Just drawing a line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like that, as the source says, that the lines were drawn, setting up this really difficult, but maybe necessary moment for the daughter, claiming her own space.
Okay, so we've got the story laid out. Let's dig a bit deeper now into what the source suggests is going on beneath the surface here.
Right.
Because it's clearly about more than just who walks her down the aisle. This is really digging into forgiveness, right, and bitterness.
Yeah, that crushing weight of bitterness. And how kids, like we said, often get stuck right in the middle of the parents' unfinished wars.
The source points out that for 18 years, the mother She carried that bitterness almost like a badge of honor.
It does. And it suggests she basically used her children as pawns in this long, drawn-out game of revenge against the father.
That's a harsh assessment.
It is, but the source uses terms like parental alienation, essentially weaponizing her own pain, using her hurt to justify cutting off that bond, the child-parent bond, which the source argues wasn't really hers to break. But what's fascinating, and the source really highlights this, is the counterpoint. Children grow up, they make their own choices.
And these daughters chose reconciliation.
They did. They chose to reconnect with their father, which shows, that even decades of someone trying to keep them apart couldn't completely destroy that fundamental connection.
It really speaks to that basic human need, doesn't it? To connect with both your parents, your origins.
Absolutely.
And this whole situation, it throws up some really tough questions. The source actually poses them directly for us, for you listening.
Like what?
Well, was the mother right? Should she have insisted her ex not be there, given the history? And was the daughter right to invite him secretly, knowing it would cause such turmoil?
That's a tricky one, too.
And the father. Was he right to just show up, knowing the tension, the potential explosion it could cause?
Yeah, no easy answers there.
Yeah.
Does the source offer a perspective?
It does. It doesn't really shy away from it. It talks about parental responsibility. And it suggests, that both parents made mistakes here.
How so? The father, it says, maybe should have fought harder earlier on to stay in contact. Not just accepted the cutoff.
Okay, makes sense.
But the source seems to place a bigger burden, a heavier responsibility on the mother.
Because she actively cut him off.
Exactly. It states pretty clearly that she weaponized her pain, used it to cut off a bond that was never hers to destroy.
That's a strong statement.
It is, and it's not about, simple blame. It's about recognizing the impact when one parent actively blocks the child's relationship with the other, regardless of how the adults feel about each other.
The marriage ends, but the parent-child thing, ideally that shouldn't.
That's the idea.
So in a way, the daughter becomes the quiet hero here.
You could see it that way. The source argues she did what maybe any child who loves both parents might eventually do.
Which is?
She chose peace for herself. She put her own well-being, her own decisions first.
Oh.
Stepped out from under the shadow of her parents' old war.
That takes courage.
Definitely. And that choice, it connects to something bigger the source talks about healing.
What's that?
That sometimes healing means you have to break away from your parents' battles. Yeah. It's about drawing your own lines, finally, separate from the conflicts that, maybe shaped your childhood.
Like declaring emotional independence.
Exactly. A declaration of emotional independence.
So as you're listening to this, maybe think, how does this resonate with you? These dynamics of inherited conflict, old resentments, the power we have to choose differently.
Yeah.
Maybe you've seen it in families, or perhaps even felt echoes of it in your own life. These past conflicts shaping present choices.
It happens all the time.
And the source leaves us with one last really thought-provoking idea, something to just sort of mull over.
Okay, what is it? It's this. Sometimes the scars we carry aren't ours, but the choice to heal always is. The scars we carry aren't ours, but the choice to heal always is. That's powerful.
It really is. It suggests, doesn't it, that even if we inherit wounds or pain from our family's past, we still have agency. We still get to choose how we move forward, how we heal.
That choice remains ours. Always.
Well, that feels like a really potent place to end this deep dive. Thanks for exploring this incredibly personal yet universal story with us.